Now that we can register and log in with different users, what we want to do is to update our code that we use our current users ID dynamically and not hard code it to 1, 2, 3. So in our basket listener, where we say k owner ID is equals to, instead of 1, 2, 3, I'm going to access my f user function and get the current ID. Then let's just go to our search here and search for 1, 2, 3, and this will show where we have used previously 1, 2, 3 and what we need to update. And the other one is in our drink detail view, where we are setting our basket owner ID, and again I'm going to say f user current ID. The next is our checkout view. Again, we are hard coding our customer ID, but let's put our f user dot current ID, and that's it. Only these two places we had to update our code. Let's go ahead and run our application. And what we should see now that as soon as we create an order, this basket will be no longer used because the owner is 1, 2, 3. And this owner is not going to be used because the customer ID is 1, 2, 3. So I want to delete this order. And the basket as well, since we don't want to keep unnecessary items in our Firebase. So we currently have one user, we have no orders, we have our menu items, and we have no basket items. So let's get back to our code here. It will take some time to rerun our application. Here is our iCoffee application, and right now we are logged in. So if I try to call my orders, you will see that I have access to my orders, but there are no items inside my order. I can go here and add things to my basket, and this should go and dynamically create a new basket for me. So let's just refresh our Firebase here. And it has created a new basket item with a drink, and my owner ID starts A50Z, and this is my custom user ID there. So this is working. What I want to do is actually to delete my application. First, let's stop it running. I want to delete my application. And I'm going to rerun again. So imagine if we have a brand new user, just downloaded the application and tries to use it. So if I click on this, click on basket, it will ask me to log in. If I click on this, it will ask me to log in. So let's log in. And now if I try to access my basket, I have one item inside. I can go place my order, and let's confirm this order and just dismiss it. And let's go to our Firebase, and let me see if I have an order item here. So we have our menu. The basket is empty with the drinks because we created an order. Order has one drink in it and total amount, and the drink ID, and my user is still here. Okay, what we want to do next is fix our logout. And also we are going to fix the button that is going to reset our password in case our user has forgotten his password. So let's go to our fuser function class, and we are going to write two more functions. And this one I'm going to write right after my register user with email. And we are still inside the class, not outside, here where the class is finishing. So right after our register user, I'm going to create a class func and call this reset password. And this will require an email, which is a string. And we need a completion handler. Because this will happen in background, we need to be notified when it finishes, and we want to receive an error, which is an optional in case there was an error, and this function is not going to return anything. So in order to resend a password reset link to the email, we are going to access the authenticator, and then I'm going to say send password reset, and then we need an email where to send it, and this will be our email. And completion, I'm going to just hit enter on it and call this error my variable name. And once this is done, sending our password, we want to notify our caller. So I will just call my completion handler here and pass the error, whatever we had. If it's a nil, then we will pass a nil. Otherwise, we are going to pass the error to our view. And then we are going to have a logout function. So let's say class func logout current user. And again, we want to have a completion handler because we want to be notified when it's done. And here we are going to again pass an error if there is one, so it's an optional. And there is no return type, so we say void. So again, in order to log out, we are going to access our authenticator. So we say auth dot sign out. And you see when you choose the sign out, here it says that it's throwing. So what it means that it may throw an error. So in order not to crash our application, we are going to put this in a try and catch block, as it's actually recommended by Xcode here. So I'm going to say do this and then catch as a let error as error. So we will call our variable name error in case if there is an error, we want to catch it. And what we are going to do is do this, and I'm going to say try, and we're going to try to sign out. And if it was successful, we want to delete also our currently saved user in our user defaults. So I will access my user defaults, and then I want to say remove object for key, and our key is k current user. And then I want to save my user defaults, so I will say user defaults dot synchronize. And finally, I need to inform my caller, whoever calls this function. So I need to tell the completion and then pass nil as my error, because if everything went okay, there is no error. And here, in case if we have an error, what we want to do is say completion and we pass our error. That's it. This is all we are going to need. So let's go to our home view, scroll up, and let's find print logout. And instead of printing logout, I'm going to remove this and this and say f user dot logout current user and hit enter error. is our variable name. And in case if we had an error, we are going to just print it here. So say print error logging out user, and let's pass our error localized description.